Blood pooled on the white tile. My nose throbbed, bent sideways, leaking down my throat like rusted syrup. He grinned, my brother, still breathing heavy from the swing that sent my skull into the refrigerator door. His knee had landed square, up, brutal, deliberate. Not the first time, but the worst so far. I reached for the phone with a shaking hand, cold fingers slipping in my own blood. Mom's voice sliced through the haze. "It's just a scratch." She yanked the phone away. Her knuckles were tighter than the cords in my neck. I looked at her, really looked. No panic, no fear, just inconvenience. Dad didn't even look up from the newspaper. "Drama king," he muttered, always making something out of nothing. My breath staggered in my lungs, not from the hit, from the silence that followed. That's when I knew. I wasn't their son. I was their scapegoat. The thing about survival is, you learn how to disappear inside your own skin. I stopped crying around age 9, learned that bruises under sleeves fade, but silence, that lasts. He always got away with it. My brother, Eli, their golden boy, captain of the wrestling team, dean's list, friendly handshake with the pastor every Sunday, the kind of smile that made people forget to ask questions. And me? They had a word for me. Overreacting, sensitive, a handful. But that night, something fractured that couldn't be taped shut. I stared in the mirror at my twisted face, the swollen bridge of my nose casting a shadow. One of my eyes nearly sealed shut, and I whispered to myself, "They want quiet? I'll give them silence so loud it'll bury them." Not rage, not revenge, just clarity. I didn't scream, I didn't call the cops. I started collecting. Phone records, school reports, credit card statements. I shadowed Eli's life like a ghost, unseen but ever present. I smiled at the breakfast table. I asked about his job at the university lab. I already knew the funding was fake. The grants he bragged about? Rejected months ago. I checked the university board's archives. He forged the emails, doctored the logos. The entire position was a fabrication. He'd hacked his way into a system that wasn't watching. My parents never verified. Why would they? He was Eli. They never noticed their golden son's glint was flaking off. I found the messages he sent to underage girls, screenshots, IP traces, even the burner apps he thought disappeared. I traced them all, every fake name, every time-stamped file. Then the real gem, his scholarship fraud, using my identity. That's when my hands began to shake, not from fear, from possibility. I left the evidence on the table, bound, categorized, unlabeled. They'd have to read it, digest it. Dad was the first to flip the pages. I watched his pupils shrink, his fingers trembled. "Where did you get this?" he whispered. Eli walked in halfway through, saw the papers, froze, then laughed. "He's making stuff up again. You're really gonna believe?" I stood, quietly, walked over, held up a photo, a teenage girl. His texts, her age. "I already turned this into the board," I said. "Your fake job's gone. Your email's been deactivated. They'll press charges. Maybe not today, but soon." He stopped laughing. Mom's face drained of color. She looked at him, then me. Still, she tried. "This doesn't prove." I cut her off. "Check the envelope in your nightstand. I left copies there too." Her mouth fell open. I left them sitting at the altar of their favorite child's downfall. No shouting, no tears, only the sound of pages turning. The university issued a formal investigation. Eli was suspended indefinitely. The girl's parents came forward. Civil suits followed. I didn't testify. I didn't need to. The digital trail was enough. I watched from a distance as their world turned in on itself. Mom came to my room once, knocked. I didn't answer. Dad tried the next day. "We didn't know." "You didn't want to know," I said through the door. They stopped knocking. The whispers started soon after. At church, at the grocery store. People who once beamed at Eli now looked away. I applied to college that fall, under my own name, got a scholarship, no forged signatures required. When I packed my bags, they stood at the stairs, both hollowed out by their own loyalty to the wrong child. I looked at them once, then turned my back. I don't know what became of Eli. Last I heard, he fled the state, avoiding subpoenas. Mom still writes me emails I never open. She signs them with words like family and forgiveness. But I've already buried that name. Buried it the moment blood ran down my lips, and they called it drama. Funny. They called me the liar, the weak one, the burden. But the truth? The truth wore his smile, and I was the one who watched it rot from the inside out. All I ever needed was for someone to look deeper. They didn't, so I made sure the whole world had to.